guys. Happy freaking Monday. Welcome to the Road to a Million call. Katie, do you know how many weeks we've been doing this? I don't know if you saw.
90, 91,
90.
90.
90 weeks in a row. 90 weeks ago, we started this call, guys. Why did we start this call, Katie? You remember?
This call in particular, we were scaling our second location to 1 million, hence the name Road to a Million.
And by scaling, you mean starting. We started at 0.
Yeah, the first week we had
Yeah.
one clean.
The only way to scale your business is you first got to start the business. And that's what we did 90 weeks ago is we started our second location down here in Mesa, Arizona. We had to start it before we could scale it. And that's where sequence, we're talking a lot about sequence today, actually. And so there's a sequence to this game, guys, because everybody here wants to scale their business, but you first must actually just start the freaking business. There's a lot of things we got to do beforehand before we can do the thing that we want to do on the, that we eventually want to do. And that usually involves a thing that we don't really want to do today. We don't really want to have the hard conversations. We don't really want to sacrifice. Yes, we say all those things, but when we actually have to do the thing, it's like the fear. What will they say about me? What if I have to fire somebody? What if I have to charge a cancellation fee? What if I have to spend money on marketing and it doesn't work? What if I have to get told, what if I be told I'm a scam and my marketing actually isn't, it's not legal? What if? Right?
I'll just optimize for today's comfort.
Yeah,
I'll just avoid all that icky.
Yeah, that seems easier. Let's just do what's easier today. Okay. And yeah, the only difference between the million-dollar businesses and the ones who are not at a million is like, what are you optimizing for? Are you optimizing for the growth of your business or for the comfort of today? And Katie's been sharing some cool things with me on our walks, and one of the things that you talked about, Katie, that like things from Layla's podcast that you were sharing with me yesterday?
Yeah. I'll drop the link in a minute, but her latest podcast, anybody who wants to build wealth it's bonkers. All of the habits that are required to build wealth actually have nothing to do with wealth.
What does that
Autumn,
mean?
it made me think of our conversations about wealth and how to get there so much. So I'll drop you guys the link. It's amazing. But she talks about how people will optimize for today's comfort at the expense of tomorrow. So they will stay comfortable today, which makes tomorrow harder.
Yeah, it's really good. There's so many examples. We're not gonna get into those examples today, but yeah, it's awesome. Drop that link. Also, as you drop Layla's link to her podcast. So one of the things that you guys might not know is that Katie and I have a podcast, and it's actually called Road to a Million. And it started actually more than 90 weeks ago. Now, it's primarily me talking before 90 weeks ago. But yeah, James just dropped the link. It's called Road to $1 Million Home Cleaning Business. And so if you guys are ever like out in the field or you guys are out and about and you guys have either Apple or Spotify, you guys can plug in. You guys can listen to these calls, or you want to go back to all the way to 2020, I think is when the first episode started. And you guys can go back all the way to 2020 and listen to old random podcast episodes. Yeah, so just thought I'd share that with you guys. Also, if you guys are inside the free school group, the free home cleaning courses group is actually what it's called. All the Road to a Million replays specifically are inside there. So if you want to like see the video versions of this, you guys can go inside there as well. And if you guys are inside the paid mentorship, it's under the Road to a Million replays. So those are all the places you actually can listen to these calls. But sometimes for the convenience of if you guys are out and about, the podcast, Road to $1 Million Home Cleaning Business, might be the easiest path, and I've never ever mentioned it on here before, but I did want to give you guys an opportunity that if you guys want to listen to some of these calls, that's also a great place to go catch these calls, catch the replays as well. So, okay, Katie, what are we talking about today?
Marketing.
Oh my gosh. Who in here loves marketing, guys? Yeah,
Every single one of you that showed up loves marketing.
Yeah, so funny. So funny. I love it. You guys will hear me talk crap about marketing all the time. I do like marketing. In this business specifically, it's just one piece of the equation. Is it an important piece? Heck yes, it's a very, very important piece. However, once you understand marketing itself and like what you need to do for marketing your cleaning business, then there's just other things that are going to that are needed in order for your business to actually grow to get to that $1 million mark plus.
But if the problem stays on marketing, I can just focus on marketing and not focus on the other hard things that I need to focus on.
Yeah. But marketing is important. Like you will never build another business without having a predictable marketing system. And so while it is important, just understand that like it's one system that is required, but it's not like there is no holy grail system that is going to make you $1 million business. Like you can't have a great marketing system and then have a poor sales system. You can't have a great sales system and have a poor marketing system. You can't have a great marketing and sales system and then have a poor, cleaner retention system. And so all these systems play together, kind of like how your human body, like all the systems need to be working. Like your lungs and your heart can be working great, but the moment that your liver stops working, like you could die, right? And so ultimately, like all the systems are important in how they play together. Okay. But today we are going to talk about marketing because everybody freaking loves marketing, including myself as well. But we're actually going to talk about the 9 marketing tactics that don't work to start with. And so I'm excited to share these ones because I never talk about these ones ever. You know why?
Because they don't work.
Weird, because they don't work. So a lot of these, I'm gonna share some stories about how I've tried them, spent money on them, didn't work, and never talked about them again. And there's a reason why I'm talking about them again, because I don't want to tell you guys to go do something that doesn't work. But then I will end with the 8 marketing strategies that do work, the ones that have proven to work, the ones that have got our business from 0 to over $82,000 a month. Not once, but twice. Okay. So, you guys ready to do this thing? You guys ready to talk about some marketing? Some marketing? Yeah. Okay. But before we talk about the marketing, let's actually talk a little bit about those companies that we've used these marketing tactics with. So if you guys were on the call last week, let me update you. We actually have 3 companies now. So we have Bozeman, which is in Montana. We have Mesa, which is in Arizona. And we actually bought a 3rd location in Sacramento, which is in California, if you guys didn't know. And so last week was our first week of kind of integrating as much as we possibly can with at the same time not trying to break anything. And so we bought Sacramento. Now, Sacramento, we bought it from a couple that was already inside our coaching mentorship. And so they had implemented the majority of the system. There's just lots of like little things that as we get in there, we realize that like there's just lots of little things that are just little, but they make a big, like over the course of, or lots of little things that can make the business grow really, really big. And so that's what we've been doing last week, is just trying to get integrated as much as we possibly can, and being patient. So one of the things that I was talking about with Julia this morning. So Julia's a business inside. She's a business. She's a person who owns a business inside our home cleaning mentorship, and she started her business in I think August of 2024 from zero clients, 0 reputation, 0 business experience, never owned a business in her life before. And last month she hit 100,000. This month she's gonna hit 100,000 in a month. So in 14 months she got her business from 0 to 100,000. Wild. And so we're having conversations now about she's in the transition point from being the doer in her business to now coaching people. She's now hired 2 office people. And so now she's learning how to teach the office people how to do what she just did to grow the business, which is a whole different skill set. And so as we're having our conversation today, I shared some advice with her that I want to share with you guys. And it's also advice for myself as well. Confidence is patient. Insecurity is in a hurry. And so if we understand that everyone in here wants to grow their business really, really fast, and it's because like it comes from a place of insecurity that you've never actually grown a business before, I think it's okay. And so I have now learned this from now growing our 2nd location, is that like when I tried really, really hard to grow the 2nd location as fast as I could, like I just ran that thing into the ground. And it wasn't until just like, I'm gonna be patient. I'm just gonna make sure the business grows for sure. I'm gonna do the right things. I'm gonna make sure that we have the right people on the bus, and we're doing this based on the right principles, that the business actually started to explode. And that's where that idea came from, is that confidence is patient and insecurity is in a hurry. And so a lot of you guys in here, it's the first time you've ever grown a business. Like most of you guys never built a $1 million business before. So you're like, I don't know if I can do it. And so we got to be in a hurry to get there. That way we can prove to ourselves that we can do it. And I think one of the values that you guys can get on this call, and what's like some of the same values that Julia gets from like coaching, is that when you're around people who've actually done what you want to do, like you'll see that they're patient because they've done it before. And so just recognizing that the faster we try to do things, the quicker we try to get places, it comes from a place of insecurity. And our job is to just be patient and just do the right things rather than trying to do everything really fast. And so that has been our biggest thing that we've been doing inside Sacramento that we learned is that we're not trying to grow Sacramento fast. We're just going to grow for sure. So we're being very patient. We're implementing things at a snail's pace because we're just going to get there for sure. And so that's what we were doing last week with Sacramento. And just so you guys know, like that business is around $50,000 a month. That's where it's sitting at. The Mesa location, as we talked about before, we started 90 weeks ago at zero clients, zero reputation, zero reviews. And last week it had a PR. Last week, Katie, how much did it do in weekly revenue?
Sacramento or Mesa? Sorry.
Mesa.
Oh, 22,000.
Yeah. So last week it did 22. The week before that it did 21. The week before that it did like 19. And so it didn't just hit $92,000 last month on accident, but it's going to continue to grow past $92,000 to get to $100,000. But it's because we were patient with it, and we just have been doing the right things with the right people on the right bus. Yeah, business is growing and it's actually profitable now. So back to what Katie talked about. What was the thing that Layla said? What was her quote? The thing about
Yeah, optimize. People will optimize for today's comfort at the expense of tomorrow.
yeah. Cool. So in 2024, when we started Mesa, we started in March. Do you guys know how much money that business made in 2024 from March to December 31st?
Yes. Drop a couple things in the chat.
Guesses. How much money, how much profit, not revenue, how much profit did that business make? First guess was the right guess. It was negative $3,000. Because we were not optimizing it to be profitable on day one. We were optimizing to be profitable on year two. As of right now, and mind you, we just have focused on growth to get the business to that $80,000 to $100,000 mark. So there wasn't a profit. And now there's actually some profit. And so now sitting as of year to date, Mesa is almost at $100,000 of profit, almost. And so what Katie said is so true, is that most people are not willing to go negative. By the way, it's not just going negative. Katie, how much did we actually work in that business last year?
A lot.
Yeah, there was a difference. It wasn't just the money aspect of it, but we actually worked. We had to give up the comfort of not working to go work in a business to get paid, actually, to pay $3,000 to own this business. But it wasn't because we were optimizing for 2024 or even 2025, to be honest with you. Like the $100,000, that's not what gets me excited. It's now we have the system. We have a way of doing things. And that's why Julia could go from 0 to 100,000 is because of Mesa. It's because Mesa gave us a path. It gave us a system. It gave us like, this is how you do things. And so, yeah, that's the update on Mesa is continues to roll. And then Bozeman, speaking of marketing, for the first time in 5 years, we actually had turned the marketing off in Bozeman. And that's because at the end of the summer, we ended up losing so many clients. Excuse me, not so many clients, so many cleaners. We didn't lose clients, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, we ended up having to have another cleaning company in Bozeman, like take over, I don't know how many cleans or how many hours it cleans, Katie. Do you remember how many it was?
A lot for a month. I mean, she had a team, so it wasn't like one person came and helped us. It was another company with a team that came and helped fulfillment.
Yeah. So yeah, so we turned the ads off because we couldn't fulfill our own claim. And we just learned a lot of lessons from that as well, from the hiring standpoint, who to hire, how to hire. Our standards got better. That was, again, we learned a lot of that from Mesa, in all fairness. And so now we're basically rebuilding the culture there with what we learned from Mesa in Bozeman, and we'll do the same thing with Sacramento. And yeah, but in Bozeman, we actually turned the marketing off. It was the first time in 5 years that we've done it. Just it made no sense. We each allocated that same money for marketing for clients, and we just moved it over to cleaners. We spent a lot of money on cleaners, and now we finally have a place where we have a little bit of breathing room. We just turned marketing for clients back on a couple weeks ago, and lo and behold, it's working. We're getting leads again. And so that's what we're talking about today, guys, is how do you get leads predictably? But first, we're going to talk about what client or what platforms to avoid. So you guys are ready? Let's talk about the 9 platforms, the 9 marketing methods, not even platforms, just the methods that we're going to avoid. And some of you guys are probably going to get mad and trying to fight me. That's fine. Fight me. This is your chance. Let's go. Now, before I give you the 9, I'm going to start with a couple like headline things. Okay. So here's what you want to avoid is that anyone or anything that promises, set it and forget it. Okay. If you ever get sold that, just run. I'm telling you, just run, guys. It's not real. There is nothing in life that is set and forget it. No relationship, no income, passive income, they say, right, Katie? You know what's funny? You know what's funny, guys? This is so good. So, before we started going ham on cleaning businesses, we were going ham on real estate, and we bought a lot of real estate across the country. This idea of passive income is just a farce. And we have our primary home that we lived in Montana. It's got 4 units, and 4 units it's just a pain to get it just like not a pain. It's just so much attention that goes into renting something out. And so Kitty actually does a really good job with this. She's the one who handles all the real estate stuff. Yeah, one of the units was open of the 3 units, and I saw someone make a post inside a Facebook group, and I just tagged Katie in it, and it just happens to be that one of those people is on here. His name is Chad, and he actually is has like he's rented out some of his or one of our units for his cleaners, which is how cool is that? Like small world. But anyway, the idea of set and forget it, a passive income, just like it's not real, guys. It's a farce, and just run away from it. Whether it's real estate, whether it's any sort of business opportunity, or whether someone trying to sell you marketing, like it's just not real. Okay. The second thing that you'll get sold on is done for you marketing. Okay, because little old you, your little old brain ain't smart enough to learn it yourself. That's really what the messaging is. And I can tell you this from having a little old brain. Like this marketing stuff that we're going to teach you that eventually works is something that every single person here can do. Every single person. And so to think that you can't run your own website or to think that you can't run your own marketing is silly. It is silly. Okay. So now, without further ado, let's get into it. The number 1 marketing method to avoid, Katie, what is it?
Groupon.
Groupon. Most of you guys probably don't use Groupon. Yes, stay off Groupon. Like, don't discount your services to $39 or whatever they have you on there, right? Like those sites just attract the wrong avatar, right? Stay off Groupon. Second place, Katie.
Thumbtack.
Thumbtack. Stay off Thumbtack. So silly. Okay. You pay for the lead, and then does that lead even respond? Who knows? Right? Not a platform would recommend marketing on. Groupon or Thumbtack. Stay off those platforms. Number 3.
Yelp. I have beef with Yelp.
Yeah, Yelp. Pay to play extortion. That's what it really is, right? Yelp is the worst. If any of you guys
Yelp is the place that people go that hate service-based industries and just leave terrible reviews. And then Yelp, if you even do get a good review, Yelp is like, no, we're not going to post that one. That's not real. We're only going to post negative reviews.
Yelp is the worst. Don't even get don't even get the free Yelp account, guys. Like, don't even do nothing with Yelp. Please do nothing with Yelp. Like having no Yelp account is much better than having a Yelp account with. Just don't do it. It's so bad. Okay. Number 4. Katie, what's number 4?
Local coupon mailers. We get this, we get calls every single week here in Mesa that ask if we want to be advertised in the back of the golf cart because everybody comes here to golf.
Yeah. Those are your clients. They're rich. They got all the money. All the things they'll sell you on. This guy's got all the money. Yeah. Stay out of the local coupon mailers. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
But they'll give you a whole page, not just a portion of a page for the right
Yeah.
price.
If you pay more, you can get a full spread. Number 5. These ones, these people. Some of you guys have actually had these people. So these are some of the ones you guys are like, okay, this one you might feel this one a little bit. What's number 5, Katie?
Yeah, done for you marketing agencies.
Yeah, I would say like the majority of my one-on-one clients came from a done for you marketing agency. So there's a couple issues that we have with done for you marketing agencies. Number 1 is that they will guarantee that they will get you leads, but all they can really guarantee is that they're going to get your money, and they're going to keep your website and your ad account, and they're going to hide all the information that they do, all their tactics that they do in order to get you leads. And then when they go away, guess what also goes away?
The leads.
The leads. Yeah. And the price that you pay to have one individual actually run your ads, it's never enough. There's not enough money in your business for just one person who does one little small piece of your business for you to pay that person $1,500 to $2,000 a month. It just doesn't make sense. Like this again, this is not a marketing business. So I think that's my biggest beef with done for you marketing agencies is the price point that they need, which by the way is fine. Like that's the price point that they need, but like the value that you get from them just getting a lead is it's such a small piece of the equation. And cleaning, guys, it's not that hard to get leads for a service that is done for you, that the client doesn't have to do anything outside of let you in their home and give you their credit card. That's all the client has to do. It's relatively,
and it can be done as early as this afternoon.
And so to get a lead to say yes to that is just not that hard. Okay. But the most important thing is to get that person to actually give you their credit card, is to actually sell them on recurring. And it's to be able to keep the cleaner happy, to make sure that the client stays happy. So there's lots of little things that happen that have nothing to do with actually the marketing of getting the lead to begin with. And so just the price points that it just doesn't make sense unless you don't want to have a profitable business. If you're okay with not having a profitable business, then pay someone to keep you in the dark on how to get leads.
I think that's the scariest part is once that person goes away, you have zero skills on how to actually acquire leads yourself. So going back to the very beginning, Logan, you mentioned that if your brain is not smart enough to market, I think another thing that oftentimes people think about is their time. They're like, I don't have the time to spend all this time tinkering with my marketing. But do you have the time to not get leads?
Yeah.
It is a skill that is acquired today that will never be stripped from you once you attain it.
Yeah. And the proof of the matter is, guys, is that I learned marketing from a different business. And so the reason why it's important is because someone just asked in the comments of have you tried all these things? Yes. Just not in the cleaning business. I learned in my first business. By doing it in the first business, I realized that they also are not going to work in the second business as well. So all these things, outside of Thumbtack, that wasn't around, I don't think, when we had the gym. All these things, I actually have tried all these things personally. Most of them I just did them when I had my gym.
And it's not whether or not they will work or won't work. Every single place to market, you will get a lead or two and convert something. But can this generate enough leads to scale a business to $83,000 a month?
Yeah. Really good point. Really good point. Okay. So number 5, done for you marketing agencies. Also, I would just include SEO companies inside there too. So the ones that will say, we'll rank you number 1, but they're not ranked number 1. You know, those ones. Yeah. I just avoid those ones too. Right. Okay. Number 6, Katie, what's the 6th marketing method to avoid? Why do you guys probably use this one?
Home Advisor or Angie's List?
Yeah. So if you guys ever use this one before, you understand that like you buy a lead, but then three other cleaning businesses also get that lead as well. And then the homeowner, that goes to everybody, and Home Advisor still gets paid by all three businesses, and you guys don't get paid at all, right? And so, yeah, that's the biggest thing that you're gonna run into with that platform is that that lead is like getting sold to lots of other businesses, and then you're all fighting over the same person. And then the
And the
homeowner's like,
client's bombarded and they're like, what the hell is happening? Stop. Everybody, cutting everybody off.
and again, just from a volume standpoint, that's probably the most important thing. I think Katie said it really well. Just understand, guys, like we're talking about building $1 million business. We're not talking about, how to get an extra client or two. Like, fine, if you want to get an extra client or two, like you can use all the things above actually. But I assure you, none of these platforms are going to get you to $1 million. 0% chance. 0% chance. Okay. Number 7. This one's a unique one. Katie, which one is this one? Show this one.
Car wraps. I want
Mm,
my brand to be driving around town for me.
yeah. So this is where our marketing. The problem with this one, by the way, is like people will call you if you have a car wrap. Definitely works. 100% works. The problem is that car wraps just dictate your operating model. That's the biggest problem. Okay. Because if you get a car wrap, that means you actually have to provide a car. And some of you guys, actually, I just saw Kayla Irby come in here. So Kayla Irby is one of the businesses inside of mentorship that now does over $1 million. And she actually used to have cars. And the moment that she got rid of cars, she actually became very, very profitable. Weird how that works. And so every business that I've ever seen who have had cars never has been profitable, ever, ever, except for one. Okay. And I'll share with that why that one was much different than the rest of them though. And so if you guys understand the cleaning business model is that if you're going to give 55 to 60% of your revenue to cleaners, that leaves you with 40% left over. 40% left over to pay for marketing, as an example. 40% to pay for office staff, to pay for actually an office, pay for supplies, for laundry, softwares. Right? And all that being said, our goal is to get to 20%. But if you have cars, you have the cost of supplying cars, first of all, so that's the cost up front, maintaining the cars, insuring the cars, tracking mileage, dealing with accidents, like it becomes a big cost.
And teams. You're not going to put one person in one car. You're going
And
to try to
that's
fill the car.
probably the biggest cost. It's probably the biggest hidden cost is that you're forced to go into teams. And so inside the model that we run, it's a solo cleaner model. And that's because the solo cleaner model is the most efficient model. Efficient. Efficient for the cleaners, efficient for the business. And so if we're going to build $1 million business, we want to make sure there's some profit there. That's the ultimate goal. And not just profit in money, but also profit in time. Because now we're also going to have 2 office people who are going to operate the business to make sure that you as the owner can actually coach the 2 people who are running the office. And they're the ones who are going to be talking to the clients and the cleaners. But it makes it really hard for them to talk to cleaners, as an example, when the cleaners don't get paid very much. And so they have to constantly rotate cleaners because the cleaners aren't getting paid enough because the business doesn't make that much money or it's inefficient. Okay. So understand that like the cost of doing wraps is less to do with like, yes, like it works. It definitely works. But it also comes with hidden costs of insurance, registration, repairs, tires, oil changes, gas cards. And anytime that you want to scale your business, you have to buy another car. And you got to make sure that both those seats are filled. And then also another hidden cost that no one will tell you about with cars is that if you don't have the car filled, it just sits there and you have a monthly cost of a payment that you have to pay no matter what. No one will tell you that cost either. Now, I will tell you, I've only seen one business that it hasn't worked on. And that's because they were a $3 million business. And so they had enough revenue to make up for that, those fixed expenses. And so I have seen it where it has been profitable. Just like you have to be over $100,000 a month. Then you have enough revenue for the cars to make sense. So if your business is over $100,000 a month, perhaps getting cars.
So this cleaning company that does have cars that Logan knows as well also pays their cleaners less. So
they also do pay
the money
less.
comes from somewhere. They can provide a car, but now I can't pay you as much.
Number 7, car wraps. Again, not the fact that car wraps don't work. It's just the model of supplying cars doesn't work. We've actually talked about, we had the conversation, but I just don't think even the providing of the cars is that much of a benefit. Like, again, if it's from a marketing standpoint specifically, like I would rather just pay for the ones I'm talking about below than I would to have to pay for the cost of having cars. So no, like our model is just not cars. So it's not what we're gonna plan on doing. So that's why
I think the biggest drawback for me too is just efficiency. Like you are forced into teams if you do cars. Now, could you get creative and could you pay your cleaner to wrap their car and they still use their own car, but maybe you like rent the label?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. That would basically the answer to that question would be no then, because we still would be forced into teams, which is still is an inefficient model. So okay. So we have, let's go to the beginning again for anybody who's snoozing here. So Katie, what's number 1?
Groupon,
Number 2?
Thumbtack,
Number 3?
Yelp,
Number 4?
coupon mailers,
Number 5?
done for you marketing agencies and SEO companies,
Number 6?
Home Advisor and Angie,
And then number 7?
car wraps.
All right, so we got 2 more marketing methods that don't recommend. What's number 8, Katie?
Street marketing. Stand out there in your funny costume and wave a sign around.
Yeah. So we actually did some street marketing when we started Mesa. We were trying to get cute. We were trying to do something different. Flyers, bandit signs, door hangers, leave behinds, like you leave stuff on cars, mailbox magnets, trade shows, networking groups. These would all be a form of street marketing, right? The biggest cost of these is not the little gadget thing that you're buying. It's your time.
Time.
In order for any of these things to work, by the way, these things can work. And by the way, they do work in some industries. Could they work in cleaning? Possibly. The reason why I don't recommend them is because of the time that it takes. The time that it takes for you to go hang door hangers, bandit signs, flyers, leave mailbox magnets, absurd. And
I have a hilarious story.
Why do you know this? Why do you know this?
Yeah. So when we owned the gym, I was convinced that if we would just set up shop at an event, everybody, like I would collect all of the clients and we would get 100 new clients that walked in the door the next week. And I was so convinced that I talked Logan into letting me do it. And he's like, fine, like pay your $200, set up your little booth, like do your thing. So we did. Me and I think we had one trainer there that came with me and we set up our table and we got 0 people. 0. I was like, okay, yeah, you can say I told you so now. It broke my heart. I was like, where are all the people? I thought for sure that this networking event where all of these people that were into fitness would just come through the doors. If we were there, they would already be in the doors and I could definitely sell them from there, but nobody came in the doors. So it was tough.
And even if you did it at a home cleaning show, and you did it for cleaning, again, like you would probably get some leads that would come through. It's just going to happen once a year and you're going to get a handful of clients, and the time that you spend to get the amount of leads that you get is just like the ROI on it for your time versus how many leads you got is just, it's going to be low. Let's put it that way. Right. And it only happens once a year or once every 6 months, depending on how often they do the trade show. So that's why those things are they're not recommended. And then doing the door hangers and bandit signs, like when we started Mesa, we actually did this. Katie and I, we went around neighborhoods like, and I was knocking on doors. Katie was just leaving the door hangers, and I was coming back behind and knocking on the doors. And like we spent like, oh man, I don't know how long it was, 3-4 hours. And I was just like, okay, I learned pretty quickly, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. And then, yeah, I turned the marketing on. That's actually what happened right after. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn the marketing on. But we did it, and we got 0 leads from it, 0 leads. But it takes more work too. Like it probably would have worked if we just would have continued to like go out there and spend more time doing those things. Not recommended though. More efficient things you can do.
I think there's already so much, and Dr. Kashi was the one that presented this to us when we were starting Mesa. We told him about the door flyers, and he was our business coach when we got started, and he was the one that talked Logan into starting this second location. And he asked Logan point blankly, like, why are you trying to make this harder than it needs to be? Like, you have already successfully done one location. Why don't you just do what you did there? And it was like, oh, there's already so much hard that happens in this business on a day-to-day basis. Like, we don't need to make it harder than necessary to get leads.
That's an example of getting cute. And so when I yell at you guys for getting cute, I've done it. I do it. I still do it. Right? So just also doesn't help. So stop getting cute. Just do what works. Also, we got one more before we talk about what does work. So what's the last one, Katie? What's the last one that does not work?
Yeah, Google PPC, pay-per-click.
Again, quite a few of you guys who had a done for you marketing agency, they also did your Google PPC for you. And yeah, number one, it's so complicated. So I think PPC is the one that like is actually very complicated. I paid somebody for 8 sessions to learn PPC, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. It's very complicated. But then the leads that we got were like very expensive, very, very expensive. And so I was like, okay, this takes high skill, high attention, and a low ROI. I was like, let's just avoid this altogether. Right? So I've only ever seen one person also get like decent lead cost, and that was like $30 a lead with PPC, but everybody else like $40, $50, $100, $200 a lead. Like I've never seen anyone get like really good leads and a lot of volume. Also, the volume has been very, very low on PPC as well. So something I would avoid from a standpoint of it's very complicated. It's very expensive, and just would avoid it. There's better ways. Speaking of better ways, you guys ready for the 8 ways that do work? Okay. So I actually broke these out because back to sequence. We talked about this in the very beginning. Like there's a sequence to marketing. And so if you guys are just getting started, you guys are around like $5,000, $10,000 a month. These first 4 ways are very helpful because they're free. They're free. And so we actually used these 4 ways to start Mesa as well. So we did some wrong things, we did some bad things, but we also did some good things. And so here are the first 4 ways that are absolutely free that every single person here can use today. Also, just as a side note, I actually have a module inside the free home cleaning courses group called 10 steps to add 10K a month. James will drop that link below. And like what I'm going to share right here, guys, is the basics of that module. Like actually share with you guys how to actually grow your business by an additional $10,000 a month without spending a single dollar on marketing. Because you don't have to. If you have time, we got to make sure we use our time effectively though. So, Katie, what is the number 1 way to get marketing when you're first getting started?
Yeah. So through your own personal network. So peers, coworkers, families, friends.
Network marketing. Network marketing. Yeah,
all the people that I sold
Cutco knives.
Cutco knives to.
Yeah, but this is not an MLM. But this is actual network marketing. Like just like Katie said, family, friends, peers. Okay, like those are the people. Like those are your people. Okay, what are you going to sell them, Katie?
A clean. Usually a free clean.
Free cleans. So this is the thing that most people aren't willing to do, but this is the best way to grow your business. If you're starting from 0 specifically, you start with free cleans, like absolutely free cleans. Quit spending money on marketing. Go spend your time and go into an actual client's home. Okay. Again, there's a script inside that module where I actually walk you through exactly what to say. Okay. But it's very simple. I'll give you guys the snippet right here. Okay. Hey, first name, start a cleaning business. I'm looking for 5 people who are interested in a free clean in exchange for a review. let me know if you might be interested or you know anybody. It works 100% of the time. And I actually share with you inside that module how to actually get paid on this clean. You guys want to know how to get paid? You guys want to know how to get paid on this clean? Because yes, we're going to market for free, just like we market everything for free, but we actually have a money mechanism, a money model, as Alex would call it, to come back around and make sure we get paid. Okay. And so it's very simple. And this is where you cheapos are going to lose out on this. And this is the reason why you invest in a software. You start to invest in a business that actually can work without you or doesn't depend on you. It's just you're going to invest in a CRM like Zenmate as an example. And what you're going to do after you do that free clean is you're going to send them over an invoice for $0, but they have the opportunity to tip. And by golly, people how many of you guys just feel obligated to tip? At a restaurant, at whatever else, somebody asks you for a tip, you're like, oh, I don't want to say no because I'm afraid. Okay, cool. Well, then other people feel that same way you do because you're a human just like everybody else is. So like make them have to make a decision. And what they do, they're like, I feel bad they clean for free. I will tip them whatever, $50, $100, whatever it may be. And you'll realize that these free cleans are not actually free. And you actually can make money. Genius. And because it's just you're starting your business, then like you get 100% of that tip. Okay. Again, not a scalable model, but a great one to get started. And then after we give away free cleans and we get some reviews, we get some momentum going. Then what do we do after that, Katie?
Then just discounted cleans.
Yeah. And so this is actually where we started. We didn't actually do the free cleans. We started with the discounted cleans. This was the actual message that I sent to the people in my phone who I knew down here in Arizona, which wasn't a ton of people. It was actually people from another mentorship. It was a real estate mentorship. And I sent them this message. I said, hey, just started a cleaning business. I'm looking for 5 people who are interested in a deeply discounted clean in exchange for review. Let me know if you or anyone else might be interested. So we sold our first few clients. Our client number 1, Katie, what's his name?
Oh, I can't. It's Ryan Overcash.
Ryan Overcash. It was a $400 deep clean. It was discounted, guys. It was a $400 deep clean, right? Discounted from $500 or $600. I can't remember what it was. Okay, but he was just somebody who was a friend, someone who was inside my phone who I had met, and I just sent that offer to everybody who I knew who lived down here in Arizona. That's how it started. Okay, it freaking works. And so there's 3 ways you can make those offers. I just showed you probably the easiest one, which is through your phone number or through your phone. All you guys have phones. Okay, you just go through your contacts, everybody who lives in your guys' area. Your social media, through Facebook, through Instagram. You'll connect with people who are in your area that you have on there. And then also like in person, like if you see somebody, like you could just make that offer in person as well. It's probably the highest probability that someone will say yes. Like when we went to a couple real estate events down here, and that's what Katie and I did. We just told people, and that's how we got quite a few people to actually book, is we just told them in person, say, hey, we're just started a cleaning business. We're looking to give away a few deeply discounted cleans. Let me know if you're interested. And I said, yes, cool. And then we just got their number, and then we set up a sales call for later. We didn't do it right then and there. We just set up a sales call for later, and then there we go. Then we sold them. Free, absolutely free. That's exactly how Mesa started 90 weeks ago. 0 cleans. Katie, what did it do last week?
22,000.
Yeah. Wasn't based on doing it this way right now, but that's how it started. I think it's important. Sequence, guys. Sequence. The second way, this is also something that we did very, very well with Mesa as well. Katie, what's the second free way?
Referrals. So asking the currently discounted cleans for friends and family.
You guys see how this
do they know anybody?
The people who now said yes, you ask them. Curious if you know anyone who would like okay, this is actually what the message is. Just, as you know, I just started this cleaning business. If any of your friends and family members want to get on our founder level pricing, let me know. Like, this is how you continue the process going. Okay. Again, these are great for when you're getting started. Costs 0 money. Just costs you your ego. What happens if they told me no? To my face. Oh.
Well, now my ego's growing because I'm getting clients, so now I need to raise their prices. What do I do now?
Yeah. Somebody talked about Nextdoor. We didn't add Nextdoor, but Nextdoor falls in a line with the ones not to market on. They're in line with Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, like they're all the same. So okay. Just be patient, guys. We'll talk about the ones that you do market on. Okay, like these ones we're marketing on right now, these are the ones you market on. So depending on where you're starting at, These ones are the free ones. So we have network marketing, which is using your network, asking them for free cleans and then discounted cleans, and then referrals, asking current clients, do they have any friends and family members who would like the founder level pricing, who would like a discount as well? And then Katie, what's number three? Also a free way.
Post inside of Facebook groups.
Yeah. So there's a lot of groups in your guys' area that you guys have the opportunity to post in. Now, some have restrictions where you can't post in there, but some do, whether it's like once a week or on Fridays, small business Fridays, small business Sundays, whatever it may be. Or sometimes they don't have any restrictions. You can just say, hey, I am a cleaning business, just started out. I have some room. Let me know if you're interested. Local Facebook groups, great way, great place that you can post for free. Side note, we actually took this method and we actually found a group that didn't allow for any didn't allow for any business posts. And I just reached out to the owner of the group and said, hey, would you be willing to let me post in there if I pay you? And he said, sure. And so I paid him $200 for the month, which by the way is very cheap. And I could post, I think 5 or 6 times. And that's another way how we got a lot of our early leads in Mesa is that way too, is I use this Facebook group and I posted in there and nobody else, by the way, could post in there. It was so funny. There were so many comments on like, my post keeps on getting deleted or removed when I try to do this. How come he gets to do it? It's like, I'm paying for it, honey. $200, I'm rich. So anyway, that is probably one of my favorite ways that nobody's willing to do. They're not willing to have a conversation with the owner of the group. But another great way to utilize a Facebook group to post in. Again, not quite free, but cheap, very, very cheap. And then, Katie, what's the last free way to market your home cleaning business?
Responding to posts inside of Facebook groups saying, I'm looking for a cleaner.
Yeah. So this is where we have found the most traction. And this is probably the one that Katie and I still do today. In fact, I just got into all the Sacramento groups so I could continue to do this strategy. I still use this strategy. I think it's one of the biggest reasons that we continue to get lots of organic. Everyone thinks organic, nothing's organic, guys. Like everything is paid for somehow. Just it's paid in money or it's paid in time. But I found that these give us a lot of leverage. Is that if you guys get into your local groups, and you guys have seen the post where it says, I'm looking for a cleaner. I'm looking for a cleaner. I'm looking for a cleaner. I need it today. I need it tomorrow. I need it whenever. And you have all these people. You have all these people who all these cleaners who post their business card and they make like, yes, I can do that. I have a background, like I can pass a background check. Message me. And we actually have a training inside the mentorship on exactly what to say to these. And I'll just share with you guys exactly what we say. Like this was the one from Sacramento. Sacramento 5-star home cleaning for sure. So you basically you comment this not as like you're the business owner, but like as your like a client,
You're recommending them.
Recommending them. Super reputable. They have 350 5-star reviews on Google. Call them at whatever their number is. If you book online, you get $50 off your first clean, and then you actually drop the website link where they can click on. And guess what? When they get on there, the very first thing says book online, get $50 off. And that's why it works. It's because we make it as easy as possible for a stranger to do business with us. If you guys go through those Facebook group posts, you'll see that most people, they're just unaware. And it makes it really easy to win in this business when you're up against people who are just unaware. They don't understand marketing. And what marketing really is like, how do you make it as easy as possible to do business with you and try to decrease the risk as possible as well. So easy, and how do we decrease risk? You can do those two things, like that's really what marketing is. So those are the 4 free ways. Highly recommend that you guys are doing to grow your businesses. Now, as you get bigger, like as an example, like I shared with you guys, we now have $2 million businesses and we're growing a third one. We're not going to be doing the 3, number 1 and number 2, number 3. We're not going to be doing network marketing. We're not going to be doing referrals. We're going to be posting in Facebook groups, at least not actively. Like we're not going to be actively doing that. If we have a friend, if I remember, we'll ask them if they want to clean, of course, but we're not actively doing those things as a consistent part of our strategy. Okay. These 3 things we're doing actively. These are the things that are predictably helping us grow our business. And the first one is probably the most important one, but it really only comes like number one way. It's only possible because of way number two and number three. So, Katie, what is number one?
Internal marketing. So sending texts to leads or contacts that you already have, uh, accumulated through free marketing or paid marketing, and sending them offers, reminding them that they have dirty homes.
Yeah. So this is the value of like you guys who are inside the mentorship. This is why like when you're starting from zero, I tell you to go high level, get an actual cleaning CRM, is because you're setting up to have a foundation to where when you actually have leads, you actually have people who are in your system, you're ready to send these internal marketing promotions that you can send them at mass. You can send one message and it goes out to 500, 5,000, 50,000 people all at one time. If you guys are using your personal cell phone, you'll never be able to do that. Ever, 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 never. And so just as a representation, guys, let me show you guys with this. So we have three companies, Bozeman, Mesa, and Sacramento. And I looked at these numbers right before this call. Has sent the least amount of SMS messages for this year at 72,000 messages. That's how many mass text messages we've sent in 2025, 72,000. 98,000 mass text messages. You're never going to do that on your personal cell phone. Okay. And Mesa. Remember Mesa, guys, that company that we started 90 weeks ago? It went from zero to $90,000 a month. This is one of the biggest reasons why. Mesa has sent 121,000 SMS messages in 2025 alone. That's our number one marketing strategy. Yeah, you guys are like, where do you find those numbers at?
Everybody wants to drop their numbers. It's great.
I'll post that inside the mentorship for you guys. So you guys can go find out where that number is. But that's number one way, guys. Like I think it cost us, I don't even know how much it cost us, 0.000001 cent to send a text message. Okay. But we make the majority of our money off those internal marketing messages. Okay. Now, how are those internal marketing, like those people that Katie talked about, those leads, those contacts, like where do they come from? Like they're all inside our CRM or inside our Go High Level, but like where do they come from? And so we actually have to get those leads from somewhere. So all those places we talked about before, those ways to get leads, but this is where we primarily get those how we replenish, how we bring in new people into our contact list. We continue to send them internal marketing messages. And so, Katie, what is sorry, this is out of order. I'm gonna change this for you so that way you can put it here. What is the number two, our second favorite marketing strategy?
Facebook ads, or Meta, I guess is what it's technically called, but Facebook ads.
Yeah. Meta ads. The reason why I say Meta, not Facebook, is because it also includes Instagram as well, because Facebook owns Instagram, and really the whole company is called Meta. And so this is where we spend the second most resources. And this one, it's in dollars in order for us to get leads. So in Bozeman, also spent the least amount of money on marketing, which is ironically, it's the biggest company, but it's been the least amount on client marketing. How much money, Katie, has Bozeman spent this year to date? So from January 1st, 2025 to 11/23 is when this was done last night, 2025. How much money has Bozeman spent on Meta ads?
$20,000.
20K. Yeah. Sacramento?
32,000.
Who's ready for this one? Mesa. If you guys want to know how Mesa went from 0 to 90,000, 121,000 text messages. And Katie, how much money on Facebook?
$60,000.
Yeah. You know what that's called, my friends? It's called commitment. Commitment to making no money to eventually having the opportunity, just the opportunity to make money. So I want to do it. $60,000. That's what we spent so far. in 2025. And then number 3, Katie, what's the third marketing channel that we use to spend money on?
Google local service ads.
Yes. So if you guys remember in the 9 marketing methods not to use, we talked about Google PPC. Google PPC, very complicated, very expensive. Low ROI equals avoid. Google local services, quite the contrary. Very simple, very, very simple. Arguably expensive. It depends on your market, has a little bit of variability. However, high converting leads. So who cares how expensive it is if they actually convert? So this is our third favorite marketing channel. And so Bozeman, guess what? Spent the least amount of money. How much money did it spend, Katie?
$8,000.
And well, you didn't say the right number. Say the right number.
No, it's rounded. $7,900. 7,000.
$7,992. Like that's how much money was actually spent. In Sacramento, this number is rounded because I don't actually have this data, so I had to do a little bit of configuring because when we switched it over, I lost all the old data, so I just had to go to the P&L and look how much money they spent on marketing, and I subtract out Facebook. But so this number is rounded a little bit. But what is Sacramento, Katie?
8,000.
Yeah, $8,000, and then Mesa. How much did we spend in Mesa?
$20,000 on Google LSA. So when we add Facebook ads plus Google LSA, that's $80,000 that we have invested in marketing.
Yeah. It's a full-time person, full-time employee. But that's the cost of growing quickly, growing fast. But like I said earlier, guys, like year number 1, we made no money. This year, we're almost at $100,000 in profit. And that number
will you touch on cost per lead?
That number will continue to go up as we continue to get more efficient. So like the reason why I wanted to show you guys the difference in all the companies is that Bozeman actually is the biggest company and it spends the least amount of money. And so just as you guys understand, like there is this like line of like your marketing is a big cost when you're first getting started, but as your company gets bigger, it actually is less relative cost, but also like you could potentially even, you might need less marketing as an example. Like as you're growing, you're going to have your marketing numbers are going to go up, but hopefully your revenue goes up, and then eventually you can start to move your marketing numbers down, but your revenue stays high. And that gap is like a lot of where your profit is going to be. Cool. What'd you say, Katie? Cost per lead?
Yeah. So I think oftentimes these marketing agencies that will charge you money will tell you that they'll get you a great cost per lead. And there's questions now in the chat asking what our cost per lead is. And you mentioned it earlier, but if you would repeat what you said, for those of us that are in the back, speak louder.
Yeah, I care less about your cost per lead and just like how many leads you convert. Because at the end of the day, like what your ratio is between how much money you spend versus how much money you actually book, like that's the ratio that matters more than your cost per lead. The cool thing about Meta as an example is that you have more control of your cost per lead. Google LSA, you have zero control of your cost per lead. So like who cares? Like it's going to cost you, it's going to charge you what it's going to charge you. So just make sure you answer the phone, make sure you do your job, and make sure that you're prepared to close that person. So that means if you have to do sales training, you have to do role playing, you have to do whatever you have to do, be prepared to make sure that when you actually answer the phone, you close that person. And then with the Meta ads, yeah, you can as much work as you want to do, as you can bring your lead cost down to a reasonable number. But the cost per lead isn't as important as your ability to convert the lead. And that's why, like, as much as I love doing this call, like what we're going to do next week, guys, here's the hint at next week, is we're going to be talking about sales. We're not about conversions. We're talking about like what you guys should be charging in order for you to not have to worry about what your cost per lead is. And that's the call for next week. That's probably the call that most of you guys need, and half you guys are going to show up for it because you don't want to hear it. You're going to avoid it. You're like, I don't want to raise my prices. I don't want to have to sell. I want to have a VA sale. I want a text message. I want to send quotes over the phone via email. I don't actually want to have to get on calls and do hard shit. I'm going to make it easy. But next week, guys, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about conversions. And so when it comes to actually scaling your business, those are the 3 marketing methods that we use. It's the only 3. We don't spend money anywhere else. 0 places. Internal marketing, Meta / Facebook, Google local services. Those are the only 3. And you guys can see behind me, there's 7 other businesses that have done over $83,000, or 5 other businesses, excuse me. All of those businesses also follow the same structure. None of them spend any money anywhere else. There is no secrets. There is no like hidden marketing magic. It's like, these are the platforms that we use. We do our best to keep the cost per lead as low as we can on Facebook. We have no control over it. We just make sure that we're sending in like as many internal marketing messages as we possibly can in order to fill our cleaner schedules. And that's how you can consistently and predictably bring in new clients to fill your current cleaner schedules. And so your business can continue to grow. Yeah. So cool. All right, Katie. Anything else you want to share before we get off today?
No, that was it.
Cool. Yeah. Someone asked if this call is going to be recorded. 100%. Like I said in the very beginning, we actually have a podcast that if you guys are on Apple or on Spotify, you guys can go listen to the podcast. I think James will drop the link again, the Road to a Million podcast. You guys can go there. Also, you guys are inside the free home cleaning courses group. There's the Road to a Million replays inside there, and that will be uploaded once James gets it uploaded. If you guys are inside the paid mentorship, the home cleaning coach mentorship, the replays will be inside there as well. Also, if you're not inside the home cleaning mentorship and you're like, hey, I want some of this marketing, I want to like understand how to do these 3 marketing methods of internal marketing, Facebook ads, and Google LSA, like there's trainings inside the paid mentorship exactly how to do this. And we actually have a 20-day challenge that we're doing right now. Can I just talk about this? We'll probably close it out here by the end of the year, but for right now, we're doing it as an opportunity for people to come in and actually be able to test the system. And really, the job in that 28 days is for you to learn internal marketing and Facebook ads, because those are the ways that you're actually going to build your list up, and then you're going to be able to market to people. And yeah, so if you're interested in like being part of the system that has now grown 2 businesses from 0 to $1 million and 5 other businesses behind me, and I got an announcement for next week that we're probably going to add an 8th business, another business to this wall. You got to be able to market first and then sell second. And if you do those 2 things, every single person in here, you guys can have a plaque behind me as well. Like that's the game. So today was marketing. Next week, we're going to talk about sales. And so, again, if you guys are interested in being part of the system, you want to be part of the community of other businesses, these businesses and people on here like the Kaylas, the Gregorios, the Autumns, the Marcus, Devins, all the people in here who aren't quite at the $1 million business yet, but they're working on it. Like you hang out with those guys too. Then the 20-day challenge, James will drop the link down below for that. And you guys can apply and see if it's a good fit. So happy Monday, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Also, if you guys are inside the mentorship on Wednesday, I'm going to get on that coaching call on Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about the recurrent client offer. So I think I've done a bad job of explaining the recurrent client offer, so that way it makes sense to you. So then if it makes sense to you, then you can help it make sense to the prospect you're talking to get them to sign up for recurring on call number 1 by giving them a really cool discount. While at the same time, it really helps your business not only get the initial clean, but also get some stuff on recurring. And so if you guys are in the mentorship, get on that call on Wednesday. I'm gonna do my best to articulate it in a way that makes sense so you guys feel confident in doing it, because I've just seen the difference between the people who do it. The recurring client numbers are going crazy fast. And the people who are not, I realize that there's just something not connecting. There's something missing. There's either a fear that's missing, or there's not an understanding of the conviction of what it takes in order to get somebody to sign up for recurring on that very first call. So give me that call on Wednesday. We'll be talking about that. Happy freaking Monday, guys. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.